The thing that I will never understand is that in life we all have our close friends, we have our family, and within our friends and our family, we have people in that circle that we trust. And when we say trust, I mean we trust their judgment, we trust their advice, we trust their warnings. We just trust that they are looking out for our best intentions. But for some reason, when people find what they believe to be called love, for some reason, all that trust that they have in the people around them seems to simply just fade away. So let's get into it, because Laura is given some serious talk by her mother, but she isn't willing to listen. Which tells me that clearly it's either one, maybe Laura has never trusted her mother, maybe she doesn't even respect her mother, maybe just this relationship with Burkhan has definitely made her in a situation where she now feels like she doesn't have to listen to nobody because she's following her heart. But let's get into that.
Me a little bit more anxiety too. When I confronted Michael, I really was trying to give him a chance going to Turkey to meet Burkhan, but Michael does not seem like he's ever going to come to terms with his feelings and his emotions.
So this is the thing that I don't understand about Laura, you see. Michael is her best friend. Michael is not only her best friend, but he's even a man that she's even considered or considering to be in an actual relationship with physically, okay? If Michael was to approach her and he was to obviously lay down the smackdown and say, hey, Laura, I ain't gonna lie to you, girl, but I got feelings for you. And I feel like, man, you should definitely try and see if we can make things work beyond being just best friends. But of course, Michael isn't doing that. But Laura is letting us know right here, right now, that if Michael was to do that, she would choose him over the Burkhan in a heartbeat. Which brings me to the point that I'm trying to make here. So we know that when it comes to Burkhan, it's just a man that she's going to pursue purely because, well, she made a connection with him, but at the same time, Michael doesn't necessarily want to pursue a relationship with her out of his own insecurities or whatever. Which, listen, that's fine. If Michael doesn't want to do it, that's fine. But the fact that she's now willing to leave America to go meet a man that is... I'm speaking too soon. Let's get into it.
I mean, how old is he, Laura? He's 20 years younger than I am.
So now she wants to leave and go to a guy that is 20 years younger than her. Now, don't get me wrong, we are living in a society now where age gap is becoming pretty much a myth. Whether we're watching it on reality TV or we're seeing it in social media, or maybe even in our own lives. Maybe one of you right now is in a relationship where there's an age gap that is more significant than the norm. I mean, I think growing up, usually you'd see maybe like a 5-year age gap. Nowadays, we are definitely seeing those 10, 15, 20, 25 years. Honestly, the world is going to places where sooner or later the legal age is probably going to bloody change at this bloody point, which is something that we don't want or don't need. But anyway, the matter of fact is that she's now leaving Michael, well, pursuing a relationship with Burkhan, a man that's 20 years younger than her, because a man of her own age doesn't want to be with her. Does this seem like a woman who's leaving to be with somebody that she loves, given that her actions aren't really matching? Which is why I question highly, does she even respect her mom?
You serious?
I think I got hair on my chin older than that. What is he thinking?
What is he thinking? I'm awesome.
Is he thinking?
I think he's thinking I'm awesome.
No, I think he's thinking he wants a ticket to America. Has he told you he loved you?
Yeah.
Okay, big red flag.
First and foremost, that is a red flag. Secondly, I'm curious, did she tell him that she loved him back? I'd imagine that she did too. Interesting. But listen, is the mum wrong to really assume that maybe this man's out here to use her daughter for a green card? Maybe the reason why the daughter doesn't like to listen to mummy is because maybe mummy has always given her poor advice over the years when it comes to men. Maybe that's why she ended up being in a relationship that didn't work out for her. Because let's be real, for some people, and I think this is more impacting on women than it is on men, or should I say daughters, some daughters are in a position where growing up their mothers do kind of dictate who they date. They kind of point them in the direction of, maybe you should go for that guy, maybe you should go for that guy, maybe you should go for this guy. Well, he's got this, he's got that, he can do this, he can do that. You know what I mean? Which, to be fair, maybe she's at a point where she's like, listen, mom, I ain't listening to you no more. I don't respect your opinions anymore because they have never really got me anywhere that's... Well, look at me now. I'm traveling to Turkey to meet a guy 20 years younger than me. Maybe that's what it is, because to be fair, conversations that aren't spoken about enough of is the conversation of how so many women, so many daughters go through experiences of where they are coached and pushed and managed to date a specific type of guy because of what mummy says. Don't get me wrong, fathers do it too. Do you see what I'm saying? So maybe that's the reflex. Maybe that's why she's like, listen, I'm going to do what I want regardless of what you say. Let me know your thoughts on that one, because maybe some of you lovely ladies have been through this experience. Men, if you've been through this experience too, please do let us know.
He doesn't love you. That's not what love is. Conversation with an unknown entity. Right now it's not love. It's some infatuation or some... To me, I will not be convinced. It's nothing but...
It is just
I mean, listen, to be honest with you, I can understand the mum's frustrations. I can understand her obviously not willing to be convinced in any shape or form by obviously the situation, because she's seeing a guy that lives in Turkey, a guy that is 20 years younger than her daughter. Bear this in mind, she is 45, this man is 25 years of age, and she's thinking, well, how is this going to work? You know, how are you going to grow together? You know, when you're 65, he's going to be 45. When you're 85, he's going to be 65. But then again, it all comes down to what age we actually make it in his life. You know what I mean? So obviously the mum has got concerns. So does the dad. Now, listen, respectfully, the mum is in the right to have concerns. The mum is in the right to obviously tell her daughter, listen, you need to think about this. But maybe sometimes it's about how information is delivered. Maybe the reason why Laura isn't willing to listen to mum is because the way mum is actually delivering information. Because let's be real, folks, something that we don't focus on at all is the power of the tongue. And how we say things, how we deliver things is always going to be very key to how people are going to welcome in those words. If we say things in ways that are just... Let's put it this way. When you are an adult, no, in fact, when you're a kid, you don't like being told what to do. That's why some of us become rebels, become, menaces. And even as an adult, we don't like to be told what to do unless what we're told to do is putting money in our pockets. So naturally speaking, to be fair, it is a normal reflex of people to kind of rebel against someone who's trying to tell them what to do, rather than somebody that is advising them. Okay, as children, to be fair, if we're given advice and we're given options of what we're supposed to do, good or bad, obviously we like the power of knowing that we can now make that choice. As adults, it's the same bloody thing. Advice is fine, but advice gives us powers to choose whether or not we should take it, because an advice, generally speaking, if it's delivered properly, you're basically saying to someone, hey, just so you know, if you do this, this could be the result, but if you do this, this could be the result. You just pick whichever path that you want. Okay, so maybe in this situation it's more of the fact that mum's delivery has never been good, and that's why probably Laura is always switching off and doesn't really want to hear nothing about it. And that's something that everybody should really think about in life, because let's be real, a lot of us, we don't like being told what to do because we feel like, who the hell do you think you are telling me what I can do? But if somebody gives us advice that is based on options, where it leaves the power in our hands, where we feel like the power is in our hands, we respond better. But when we're told what to do, even though we still have the power to make the choice, it's just the thought process is different because of the power of the tongue.
messing with my head.
That keeps me awake at night, thinking about you going over there and doing all that. Don't sell yourself short. Don't ever settle.
I mean, the mum is in line with that sentence itself in particular. Do you know what I mean? Don't ever sell yourself short. And it's funny because, you see, the reason why Laura is obviously leaving to go to Turkey is because Michael won't obviously make the move. If she was to make the move onto Michael, then that means, technically speaking, she may be selling herself short. But instead of selling herself short of trying to pursue something with Michael and trying to get him to come on, wake up and whatnot, she's now pretty much traveling all the way to Turkey instead. But is that considered as selling herself short? I guess not necessarily, because I guess sometimes you're going to meet the person before you know whether it's going to work or not. Do you know what I mean? So it is what it is. But nonetheless, let's continue.
Career is, or I opened up a couple businesses. I couldn't find a proper job. She knows that I have some troubles, but she doesn't know how much. I don't know.
So this is not looking good now, but now she's about to be in for one hell of a storm. She's about to meet a guy who, yeah, can't even be honest about his current work situation. He tried to open up a few little jobs here and there, but nothing really is happening. So right now, it sounds like he's actually jobless. Well, let's put it this way. When she gets there, if he starts talking a lot about coming to America, or he starts talking a lot about, oh, can you pay for this, pay for that? I mean, if I was her, pay attention to those red flags and skedaddle. Yeah. Because to be fair, it's one thing to bring someone to America knowing that they can't work because of the work visa, which is completely fine. But to bring someone over that isn't even working right now and wasn't telling you the truth, this is the key point, telling you the truth, yeah, that's a bit of a sticky one.
How she's gonna react. I'm not comfortable with this friendship she has. And if she doesn't cut Michael out of her life, I don't know, this relationship is going to work.
The Michael problem. I mean, listen, to be honest with you, I guess we have to wait and find out, obviously, how this all pans out. I think in the previews, Michael just turns up in Turkey. I could be wrong. But hey, listen, at the end of the day, this is the main thing. Laura knows that she has an emotional connection with Michael. So the fact that she wants to pursue a relationship with Burkhan, by default, she should be cutting Michael off straight off the bat. If she doesn't want to do that right now, then it kind of, it really exposes the fact that maybe she's just, it does expose that she's really not into Burkhan as much as you think she is. Because if she was, Michael would have been gone a long time ago. As I promise you now, folks, any woman in this world that is, loyal to the bone, she's this, and that, she will cut that off. Don't mess about. Ain't letting you breathe in her direction, not a single bit. You see what I'm saying? So there is that part itself. But nonetheless, though, let's move on and let's get into the next couple. You know what I'm saying? So we now have Lisa. Yeah. Lisa is a gift that, I believe is going to be giving us a lot of stress this season. Let's get into it.
Married 5 times. Husband number 1, I was young, I was dumb, and it led to an annulment.
She's been through a lot of relationships. We've moved so many places. I've been to 15 different schools, if that tells you something.
I'll tell you what it tells me. It tells me that this poor young lady over here has had a poor representation of a mother. She's had a poor role model of a mother. It tells me that mummy has always followed her. Well, look at it this way. Lisa is somebody that started off as a straight woman that then ended up becoming a lesbian and only dated women for a set amount of years, and then now is back on the other side of the world where she's now going into a relationship with a man. But in all these years that she was dating, where she was marrying men, then marrying women, and dating God knows who was, what else was she doing though? She was moving from location to location, and that was not good for her daughter. So that means her daughter probably has no friends. If her daughter has friends, it's probably friends that she made like later in life. Probably met them at work, which is fine. But not having those childhood memories of, not everybody has the experience, but for the people who have that experience of having friends when you're a kid, even if you're not friends with them now, it's just having those memories, isn't it? Said, oh, remember that time I used to go and do this with so and so? Oh yeah, that was so cool. But with her daughter, she's going to be like, remember that time mum found a new girlfriend and then we had to move again? I remember that other time when she found a new man and then I had to go to a wedding and then we had to move again. I remember that time she found another woman and then, oh, yep, she got married again to that person after the other divorce. And the other divorce before that was absolutely terrible, traumatic to me. I don't even know if I want to get married myself. You see what I'm saying? See the kind of damage that she's probably done to her daughter? And to be fair, I'm gonna be the one to say it. Given the fact that her daughter is on the plus side of things, it tells me that potentially her daughter was probably neglected so much that food may have even become a comfort. Her daughter is literally giving me the perfect example of somebody that you see without the actual size, but of somebody you see on 600 Pound Life when they give you those stories about this is how I got here because mom was never really around and food was my only comfort. That's the kind of vibe that I'm getting right now, to be honest with you, And this Lisa woman. Is she somebody that's ever going to learn from her mistakes? Learn that prioritizing love over her child?
It's a good thing that he's treating you well, but that's part of what concerns me. The romance scam. They go for single, and I don't mean to sound rude, older women want to give them all the compliments, all the love. Stop.
It's funny because when you said the full stop, this woman really thought that she was saying something, but really she was saying nothing. Have a listen.
Hold on. Do I look like an old, vulnerable, searching for somebody woman on the internet?
Right? Is that not part of a romance scam? Sending money?
Even though I live paycheck to paycheck, I send Daniel money almost every 2 weeks.
My apologies. I do apologize. So here's the thing. The woman sat there and said, stop. Do I look like a desperate old woman? And then proceed to find out that she sent this man over $2,000 in the space of 2 months. So that means obviously now the money is accumulated to so much more than that. But she wants to deny being a desperate woman? Yeah.
I give Daniel money for food. I have bought him clothes. Daniel has come straight out and asked for money around 2, maybe 3 times.
All I know is within the first 2 months, you sent $2,000 total.
The maddest part about it is that she's saying that he's only asked for money like 2, 3, 4 times, which is clearly a lie. But if it's 2,000, he's asked many times. Many times. Now, here's the thing. He does have a job. He's a construction worker. But for some reason, the money he's earning just isn't enough for him to sustain a life in Nigeria, or at least the part of Nigeria that he lives in. The daughter asked a very good question. Simple question. What was he doing for money before you existed? How was he surviving then? And the mum said, well, he was working, but obviously, you know, I need to give him more so he can survive better. And the thing that's worse about this is that the mother, Lisa, being that person, do you know what she does? She works paycheck to paycheck.
And I was, I've been having a lot of hard times right now financially. She borrows from doing a lot. She's been giving money to help us with bills.
She has. Damn.
So she's been giving me $100
So let's just let this sink in. The mum stood there, and literally said, "Hold on a minute. I'm not a desperate old lady that went online looking for a man." Well, you may have not been, and you don't need to be. These people don't necessarily listen. The matter of the fact is, you've allowed yourself to be attached to this man in Nigeria, which is fine. But at the same time, you then allowed yourself to put yourself in a position where you're now in debt, where you have to work paycheck to paycheck. But not only are you in debt, you're now also borrowing money from your friend. I'm curious, how is her daughter surviving? I don't even know how old her daughter is. Her daughter could still be in school. Her daughter may not even be at the stage where she's working yet, because maybe she's too busy studying the books. I don't know. But the fact that she's working paycheck to paycheck and is in debt, lives with her daughter, it really says a lot of things about how money just isn't a strong point right now in their life, which means it needs to be something that needs to be prioritized. But instead of prioritizing money to make sure that she can provide a stable home, or shall I say, for herself and for her child, she's picking a man again over her child. This woman right now, straight off on her first episode, I'm saying it right now, is a freaking deadbeat mother. Psst, calling it as it is. Because listen, your daughter's moved 15 times because you keep moving from partner to partner to partner. Choosing partner after partner over your daughter every single time. Now you've got someone else, and what are you doing? You are choosing to put all the money that you have that's supposed to feed you, pay your bills, and feed your daughter to a certain degree, okay? Or it could be a case where her daughter is working and they're supposed to be supporting each other. So therefore, she's now actually potentially putting more pressure on the daughter to work more hours, to work harder, to also be able to help pay the bills. But here's the catch. The catch is, but then mum is still in debt. Well, the daughter said, how much are we in debt? So the fact that they are both in debt, whew, that says a whole lot. As a mother, I do not respect this woman. Not in any shape or form. This is absolutely grotesque. Yeah. And that was me just being polite, because boy, I had more to say.
You already know I hate that you're asking for money all the time.
But I don't want you to feel like you're being second choice. I will always choose you before somebody else.
Oh yeah, and of course she borrows money from her friend, which is diabolical. But nonetheless though, yeah. Let's run that back. Let's just run that back real quick.
I will always choose you before somebody else. Look at me, I will. I'm not marrying Daniel while I'm in Nigeria. I promise you with the bottom of my heart, I am not marrying Daniel.
If you break this promise,
I'm not going to break this promise.
If you break this promise
Again, that means she's broken this promise. I would, if I was a betting man, I'm gonna say she's broken this promise at least minimum 10 times, maybe minimum 15 times. So has there ever been a point in her life that she's actually ever thought about what impact she's making on her child? Hell, she's lucky that her child is even still in her life, to be honest with you. She is hella lucky. You know what's gonna happen though, right? I know for a fact I'm the only person saying it right now that this mum is a deadbeat, okay? I'm the only person that's calling her out. I know that, I just feel it, right? But you know what's gonna happen after this? People are gonna pick this up, and then everyone's gonna start calling her out for being a deadbeat mother. It's going to be on Reddit, it's going to be on social media. I'm guaranteed it's going to happen, right? And then what's going to happen potentially is that this information is then going to catch wind to Lisa and her daughter. And I wouldn't surprise you folks, would not surprise me. Give it a week or two, If all of a sudden now we're now seeing social media posts by her daughter saying, my mom is not a deadbeat, she actually did this for me, she did that for me. You know when sometimes you call it what it is, and all of a sudden the person that we're saying it ends up coming out with this justifying video saying, and you guys don't even know because they only filmed a certain part of it, and blah 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 blah. Maybe now I've called out, maybe they won't say it, but honestly, if the daughter comes out and starts justifying this madness, yeah, okay, I'll be ready for that one. I'll be ready. I'm gonna be ready to eat that up. Not literally though. No.
I can't do this. No, because that would be tough. I understand where Faith is coming from, and I understand that she has been down this road with past relationships over and over again.
If you understood, then why are you putting it through it again?
Daniel's different. I think he's a real deal. I think he's a very precious man who is very rare. And
oh my days, talk about BS. He's different. Why is he different? So are you telling me that maybe it's different because every other relationship that she's had, she's never given them 2K within the space of 2 months. Maybe that's why he's different, right? You know what though, Lisa? If you're ever watching this video, I want to tell you something. It doesn't matter whether Daniel is different or not. What matters is that you've got a daughter who's literally telling you that you keep making her second choice. You've got a daughter that's telling you that you don't love her the way she should be loved. You don't care for her, you don't respect her, you don't look after her. The whole shebang. You're not paying attention. What's love gotta do? Gotta do with it. Point being is screw your love and focus on your bloody child. That's the point. Now with that being said, we're gonna move on to the next one, my lovely pippos, okay? Rick. This guy right here. Full of shiz. And let's get into why.
I'm scared.
After my ex-boyfriend got robbed, my brother got in an accident. He hurt someone, bumped someone on my scooter.
But why didn't you tell me that? I mean, I would call you, you would press decline, I wouldn't hear back for hours. I thought that you were with somebody else.
Do you know what the maddest thing is? He was hoping that she was with somebody else. That's what he was doing. He was hoping that she was with somebody else. But why was he hoping that she was with somebody else? That is where the killer question comes into place. I'm going to tell you why, folks, okay? Because you see, when it comes to Ricky boy over here, because he thought that she was out gallivanting with somebody else, because of her lack of communication, which is something that she obviously has to be held accountable for. But she says the reason why I couldn't communicate is because I still didn't really know you like that. Some may say okay, that's a fair reason, but at the same time though, they'd been talking for a very, very, very long time, and they were talking to the point where they were now actual exclusive partners to each other. So really and truly, she should have told him, listen, just so you know, this happened with the ex and this happened with my brother. That's what she should have done. But instead she kept quiet. So therefore his insecurities started flashing. Boom, boom, pew, 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 pew. And then what did he do? What did he do? Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't even really care about my phone.
During the time that Trish ghosted me for those 5 days, I talked to my ex from Colombia.
Did you now?
And so, I decided to book a trip and go spend time with her.
But it's okay. Get your words out. As someone that stutters myself, you know what I mean? But I have a general stutter. Yeah, listen, it's okay for me to mock people who don't have stutters, but are now nervously struggling to get their words out. You know what's crazy? He's trying to sound as if like he's innocent in the situation. He's trying to sound as if like, but this is why I did it, and I just want people to just feel sorry for me. I want you to understand my point of view. Buddy, no. What happened was that she disappeared a little bit. He claims that the Colombian chick, his Colombian ex, messaged him. That's what he claims. For all we know is he could have messaged her. All I know is that he was obviously thinking about that. He was like, let me get a little bit of that. He knew what he was doing. Because here's the thing. If he said, because I had not heard from her in those couple of days, whatever. I thought that me and her were just done. So to be fair, my ex popped up, and the idea of and bear in mind, he flew to Colombia. This guy he was able to find the money, the time, not only to fly to Colombia, but also the child support for his kids to go over there and spend a couple of days and have some fun. Now let's just say for example, he said, you know what, because of the way things are going, and Trisha not giving me good communication, I have now, or my ex has come back in the picture, and we started talking again, and we thought about actually trying to make things work again. You know what, that story there, I can go with that, because there was intention of trying to make things work again. But that wasn't the story. The story was what she messaged me, so I just basically booked a flight to Columbus. I knew I was going to have a good time. This guy's a clown. Anyway.
Even though Trish started talking to me again, in my heart, I believe that she cheated on me. Stayed with me for the week. We were acting as a couple. Once we had sex all the time, the whole time, multiple times a day, every day.
I still believe that Trish cheated on me. No. You was hoping she cheated on you. You wanted that to happen because of your own guilt. It's as simple as that. It was your own guilt that put yourself in that mindset. It's just that simple. Well. Rick. This is going to be an interesting season with Rick and Trisha. Obviously, he now needs to tell her the truth, and the question is, how is she going to react? I guess that's something I have to wait and find out. But I hope that while he's out there telling her about, this whole cheating situation, I hope in the same conversation he also tells her that he has fake abs. I mean, everybody saw those abs, right? I'm pretty sure that they were drawn on. But anyway, that's a whole nother. That's just a little side banter right there for you folks. But with that being said, though, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. We'll talk about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.